All right, boys and girls, I'm back to finish your Monday iReady math lessons, pages 2, 3, and then 5 through 8. We're starting this session on page 6 because we already did 2, 3, and 5. Now we're going to do 6, 7, and 8. So you're going to need your workbook with you, and let's get started. Go ahead and turn in your workbook, if you will, to page 6. And like I said before, you can use your computer screen or your iReady, but you don't have to. It's probably easier just to write in your notebook. And when you finish, you get a participation grade. So go ahead and turn that in when you are finished, saying that you have completed the work. All right, I'm going to go to my annotation so I can use my pencil. And here we go. Model it. By the way, once again, we're on page 6. Complete the problems below. A rectangular prism. We're going to be talking about, let me underline that, a rectangular prism is a solid figure with 6 rectangular sides or faces. These right here are called faces. The 2 boxes shown below are identical rectangular prisms with unit cubes inside of them. So this would be a rectangular prism, and these are the unit cubes. Same here, a rectangular prism with unit cubes. Circle the diagram that you think shows the correct way to use unit cubes to measure the volume of the rectangular prism. Cross out the incorrect way, then explain your choice. So we have choice way 1. They said, I'd say choice 1 and choice 2, but they say way 1 and way 2. And here is our unit cube that we would use to measure with. Let's look at the first one. What do you think? Do you think this is the right way or this is the right way? You think way 1 or way 2? Think about it and then think about why you believe that. Well, I'm going to tell you this one is wrong. So we have to cross it out because the direction says cross out the incorrect way. So we think this is the right way, so we would circle it so it's clear what our answer is. And then write the correct way. I said the correct way because I put correct and way together. It's correct way. So we would say way 2 is correct. Notice again, it's math, but I'm using complete sentences. In way 1, what's wrong with way 1? In way 1, the cubes, let me write that again. I don't like the way it looks. In way 1, the cubes have spaces and gaps between them. So more cubes could fit into, I'm going to run out of space, but I'm going to go ahead and keep writing it, the rectangular prism. Okay, so that's why. Because we know if you can probably fit another square in here because we have 1, 2, 3 here and 1, 2, 3 here. I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4 here with no gaps. So we can put 2 more cubes in this box, or you can just count them. In this case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this one has 2 more cubes in it because there are no spaces or gaps. So this one is the correct one. Good job on that, boys and girls. I'm going to clear that. Like I said, you can pause this video or whatever you need to do to write down your answers, or once again, you can watch this video as many times as you want. So let's clear our diagram. Let's go back to our mouse, scroll down to numbers 4 and 5. Let's go back to our pencil. Okay, number 4, a unit cube is said to have 1 cubic unit of volume. This is a unit cube right here. Cubic units are used to measure the volume of a solid figure. So if you have a solid figure like we did here on way 2 in your book, that's a cubic, the cubic units are used to measure that solid figure, okay? Letter A, what is the volume of each cube? I'm sorry, let me read that again. What is the volume of each unit cube inside the rectangular prism? You circled in problem 3. So if you go back to problem 3 and you look at your solid figure here on your page, which I'm going to do because I don't want to keep scrolling back and forth. What is the volume of each unit cube inside the rectangular prism you circled in number 3? And the answer is, gives it right here, 1 cubic unit. Okay, so the volume of each one of these is 1. What is the volume of the rectangular prism? Well, if you go back and count the boxes, and I want you to do that with me, I guess I will scroll up for that. All right, if we count, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So my answer for letter B is going to be, let me go back to my pen. What is the volume of the rectangular prism? 12 cubic units, because it takes 12 of these unit cubes to make this rectangular prism or solid figure. Now, reflect. Why do you use cubic units instead of square units to find the volume of a solid figure? Well, solid figures let me explain it first. Solid figures have 3 dimensions. They have a length. Let me scroll up so you can look. They have a length, a width, and a height. There's length, width, and height. So it's 3-dimensional. But at the same time, a square unit, if we go all the way back and look at the plane figure, it only has 2 dimensions, a length and a width. So a square figure has 2 dimensions, and a solid figure has 3 dimensions. So we would write, let me get back to my pen. We would write solid figures have 3 dimensions. I'm going to make sure I spell it right. They have a length, a width, and height. There we go. However, so you need a unit that has 3 dimensions. To measure the space of a solid figure, which would be, in this case, a unit cube. So we could say a unit cube has 3 dimensions. On the other hand, a unit square only has 2 dimensions. I'm going to give you a second to write that, and I'm going to make this period look better here. Okay, it looks a little bit better. Like I said, once again, feel free to pause this video, but I'm going to keep going so the length of this video doesn't get too long, because I don't want to make a third one for you guys to watch. So here we go. Change back over to my mouse, and let's go down to page 7. So now we're on page 7 of your workbook. Okay. This one's going to be, I'm just going to warn you right now. I am not an artist. I'm not. I draw horribly. It's one of my biggest things that I cannot do. We're all good at some things and not so good with others. I am the worst at drawing in the world. I'm a musician and I play music and I listen to a lot of music. I understand music, but art is not quite my thing. So just bear with me. I'm going to do the best I can. I've practiced a little bit. We'll see how this goes. Okay, prepare for volume. Here we go. First, let me go to my pencil. All right. I'm a little nervous because I'm telling you, I can't draw. I hope some of you are better. I know some of you are better. I've seen some of your work. Think about what you know about units of measure. Fill in each box, use words, numbers, and pictures, and show as many ideas as you can. So we want to know cubic units. How can we describe that? What is a cubic unit? So we can write, I like complete sentence, a cubic unit is the volume of a cube that measures 1 unit on each edge. In other words, what they're saying, it's each edge of the cube is 1 unit. What do you know about it? Well, what do we use cubic units for? To measure volume. So we use, let's look close. Let me fix that. We use cubic units, and I'm very distracted right now. My dog is jumping on the door. We use cubic units to measure volume. That's what they're used for. Okay, now they want examples. So if I were to draw, and I'm going to do my best here, a cubic unit oh, I'm just telling you, this is going to get nasty, I can tell. It's going to get really yucky. There's my cubic unit, kind of. This is 1 unit by 1 unit by 1 unit, meaning the width is 1 unit, the length is 1 unit, and the height is 1 unit. So we could say a solid, it doesn't look like solid at all. A solid unit cube has a volume of 1 cubic unit. Okay, another example I can draw, which I'm very nervous about, I will be honest, is, let's see, I can make an example. I don't quite know how I'm going to do this. I need a third line. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now if I go like this, and this, and this, kind of add those, then maybe like this, 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 and this cubic unit. See, I messed up this edge here really bad. You take some of this off. You can be trying to draw yours at the same time that I'm trying to draw mine. And I'm sure yours looks a lot better than mine. Mine kind of looks like a house or something, but anyway. This prism, the prism has a volume of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cubic units. Something like that. I hope yours looks a lot better than mine. Or you can do something that's a little easier. This one, they have a straight because they're trying to mess me up. Then they draw this one out this way. And they connect them. That should be straight. Okay, but this one, this prism has a volume of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cubic units. So this prism has a volume of 5 cubic units. All right, I'm sorry about my art. I know that looks pretty bad, but you can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cubic units. And this is a cubic unit. This one we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the cubic units. All right. I know that's pretty bad, guys, but I'm telling you, art's not my thing. It's just not. Okay. So let's move on down to number 2, and let's see if we can get finished with page 7 and 8. All right. Number 2, Lamont says that the diagram at the right shows a solid figure with a volume of 6 cubic units. Is he correct? Is this 6 cubic units? Well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 squares here, but are they cubic units? Think back to what we learned about square units and cubic units. So these are not cubic units. These are square units. So our answer is no. Why? This diagram is a plane figure. And you can write whatever you want. Not a solid figure. This plane figure has an area of 6 square SQUARE units. It does not, spelled does wrong. It does not have a volume of 6 cubic units. So this is not a cubic unit. This is a square unit. So the answer is no. Now it's tempting to write 6 because we do have 6 squares here. But remember, they're square units and not cubic units. They're going to try to trick you sometimes like that. So just beware of that. All right, let's go to our last page for today. And this is page 8. So when we are in page 8 of your workbook, Mai uses unit cubes to help measure the volume of a box. She thinks the volume of the box is 8 cubic units. Do you agree? Let's look at this box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, there are 8 cubic units in there. That's true. But we want to know what the volume of the box is. But look at this. You see this space up here? It looks like we could probably get more unit cubes up there. So do you agree that the volume of this whole box is 8 cubic units? Well, no, because they have space up here. So our answer is going to be no. I'm going to make it like this. We could say the entire box, oops, let me fix that, is not filled with cubic units. There could be another row on top of the 8 cubic units. Now, I kind of made that up myself, but you don't have to write your answers exactly like mine, but this is just giving you an example of how to do that. Now let's go down to the last one on this page. What is the volume of the rectangular prism? Blank cubic units. So they want to know how many cubic units are in here. For now, there are different ways to find that out, and you're going to see this a lot, but I don't want to confuse you. And this says length equals width, volume equals length times width times height. Let me make that all better. But you're going to start seeing this. And I would even tell you to write this in your book because you're going to see this over and over and over. Volume equals length times width times height. They haven't introduced that to you yet, but this is something that's extremely important. It's called a formula, and it's something you definitely need to memorize. And it will help you tremendously in this first unit of the math book. So what is the volume of the rectangular prism? Well, in this case, we can count them. And it doesn't matter where you start. I'd like to start on, we'll start on the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I just simply counted the unit cubes, and you have to remember this unit cube, all of this is 1 because the width is only 1. So we have 15 unit cubes. All right, boys and girls. That does it for pages 2 and 3 and pages 5 through 8 of the math book. So that's what we're doing for today in math. Make sure you fill out your workbook and have everything correct. You may go back and watch this video as many times as you need to do the first pages in your iReady math workbook. Don't forget to show your guardians or parents or whoever it is that's helping you in this remote learning to go over pages 4 and 5 with you. All right, boys and girls, I'll see you this afternoon. You have a good day. Bye-bye.